So,
Andy, go on. You go first. I'm just keen to show you the.
I was going to say, Chris, that you're telling me that that's exactly the same varieties sown on the same day, but to the casual observer they look completely different.
Well, what we ought to have done probably to prove that we haven't contrived the evidence in any way, what we ought to have done is pull these plants out to camera.
Yeah.
This one in particular took a bit of pulling out.
Yes.
Now, the only difference, same variety, and my guess is, what are we? Maybe 10 yards, 10 metres from where we pull that one up to that one. The biggest difference there is soil structure.
Yeah.
That plant is hunting now. You can see the purpling leaves on that one. And that's its inability to, it's beginning to want to grow, but the structure's impeding it and it's not getting the necessary energy in the way of nutrition behind it to come forward. So in some respects, you know, we often talk about nutrition doing everything. That is just the soil preparation in a way.
The nutrition is not arriving at that plant.
Well, I mean, look at the difference in there. That plant, I'm not saying it was easy to pull out, but when you look at the difference in rooting between those two plants, I don't necessarily like this fanginess here, but the ability of the plant to pick up nutrient, that was a friable soil, relatively easy to pull out the ground. This one, and you can actually, Andy, if you just try and put your heel down there,
because we're in the compacted area here now, aren't we? And there's virtually no give there at all.
No, but
where would be a better area over
just
there?
choose an area where you don't think these symptoms occur, and just push your heel.
These sort of larger
where
plants.
you are now, straight in front of you now. That's a better plant.
Yeah, it's sunk in quite easily there, Chris. Yeah.
And you can see, I'm afraid that we treat rape a little unkindly at times in the way we prepare seedbeds, and it still exists. You know, I think we're getting better. We're getting to the point now where we're recognising the requirements for rape and looking after it as though it is a crop, as opposed to a second-class citizen. You know,
because better seedbed preparation would have evened this out a bit.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not saying that's the total problem. The soil type changes in this field quite dramatically, but there is obviously an inference to what the soil's doing below soil surface as to the ability of that plant and the way it's picking up nutrients as opposed to that one. And they're only 10 metres apart, and the soil type didn't change.
No. And the colouring, the purple colouring, because you know people will be quite used to seeing that in rape. What is that primarily?
Primarily, I mean, a lot of people, we were speaking about it, let's be honest, you know, that sulphur deficiency, can that be the total answer? No, I don't think it is. No. I think this is the plant's inability to take hold of nitrogen. It's wanting to grow now. You can see that it's beginning to extend away and become more erect. Phosphate and potash.
Right. So it's the basics at this stage.
It's the basics at this stage, and it just shows you how important soil preparation is to give that plant. And it's an idle rooter, is oilseed rape. Yeah. It really is. For a big plant, you'd think it'd be, you know, pushing the roots out with no obstacle and stopping. Yeah. It's far from the truth. If that root encountered a small pebble almost, it'd bend off at right angles and divert away from that impedance, that stop.
And the other thing that obviously, you know, it's well known for is its rapid stem extension phase. When it gets to that phase, Chris, is it putting virtually all of its energy into it's forgotten root growth?
The interesting thing last year, we farm at Carlton, as you know, on some very indifferent soils, very sort of impoverished limestone, if you like. Our average yield last year was just over 2 tonnes to the acre in Oldbury, 5 tonnes per hectare, which for us is absolutely astounding. Now the difference in last year was that any nitrogen applied didn't go into the plant until very late on, and we had rape maybe a metre tall with a canopy of pods post-rain that I'd never seen the like of before. The pods were like peas. Right. So all that nitrogen went into the plant, but was diverted to pod and berry formation, the same as some of the cereals as well. And that's where we got our greatest yield from. And there has been work done, which in the main, well, I agree with the late application of nitrogen. want to cheat this year or you want to risk emulating what happened last year, delay a fair proportion of your nitrogen till late, and then get your stones out of your pocket, throw them on the ground and do a rain dance at the end of May and see if you can emulate what happened. And I'm pretty sure that was the reason why we got such extraordinary yields. Not just us, but yields last year were in the main pretty good. But I've just thrown that off. You can see the flower in there. Where are we today? 6th of March, I think we said earlier on. And there's the flower bud. So, you know, that plant, it really ought to be growing as well as that one. You can see how much more foliage that's pushed out, and we find the flower bud in there. Let's have a look. Yeah, she's there. There it is, right down in the base there. Ideally, you know, we had an experiment once where we got rape to about that size, probably slightly bigger, and we went across it with a lawnmower.
Right.
And we broke it off at that point, because what the plant will tend to do then is promote these side shoots.
Yes.
And that, in the main, produced a lower plant with a bush. So all these were promoted to racemes, pod-bearing racemes, and the yield was extraordinary. So a lot of people talk about canopy managing,
Yep.
and it's absolutely right. If you can stop that one, it's a bit like limiting apical dominance.
Yes.
The big tough guy who's going to reach the sky at the expense of everybody else. If we can limit that, and I think what they do in, I'm not a big expert on the Brussels sprouts, but they do go down the rows and nip the centre bud out to produce
Again, to promote these
the side buds,
buds.
which are the sprouts that harvest.
So why would you say that's not more generally looked at, Christian? Again, is it because
There are people with foliar rape I've known that are very put sheep across wheat
right?
in the autumn, and that promoted tillers. You took out the, you know, the
Again,
big dominant
the
tiller, apical dominance.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
Okay.
So this, I mean, in the main, this crop looks okay. If we look at things like that limits yield.
Yep.
We've now got to concentrate on disease control in here. If we get any more extension away from the ground, it will be a good idea to look at perhaps using materials that do have a growth regulatory effect.
Right.
And perhaps we can emulate what I've done by breaking that off. We can suppress apical dominance and use growth regulation for sale. Although rape isn't the biggest requirer of boron in bud, it certainly is in the high demand. So from a nutritional point of view, and the three things we'll be looking at nitrogen on this, in the hope that that soil structure doesn't impede that nitrogen being taken in.
Yep.
We'll have a bearing, there's no doubt. Boron, magnesium without a doubt. And coming back to, I think we've spoken about this before, we've done soil analysis where the indices for magnesium has been up in the 3s and 4s, and yet we've still seen magnesium deficiency. We've taken tissue analysis and proved that the plant still has a deficiency of magnesium, even though the soil is there. Now, the whole thing should be in balance, of course.
Yes.
And you know, you're too high in P and K and it can limit the uptake of other things. pH can have that effect, blah blah blah. But but the one thing for sure is we need to take care of that nutrition, and if it is impeded from underneath, if the roots are capable of it, then what we've got to do is look at feeding the plant from above.
And you haven't mentioned sulphur, Chris. Would you recommend there can be some benefit from a foliar sulphur at some stage?
Absolutely, from a rate point of view, from a crop point of view, let's be honest, cereals exactly the same, but probably from an oilseed rate point of view, the requirement is higher.
And all that nutrition can go out in the same application.
Absolutely, no reason why not. You know, no reason why
And the
not.
timing,
whatsoever.
couple of weeks' time.
I would be looking at certainly between now and say 14 days time.
Right. Yep.
There is a correlation between nitrogen and sulphur, and therefore
Yes.
the timing of both. Probably the sulphur on slightly earlier.
Yep.
Bearing in mind that sulphur can act as a fungistat as well.
Yep.
So it will have a benefit there. But I would be looking at
So we're now on the 6th
magnesium.
of March, between now and say the 21st of March, in that sort of window.
Yeah, probably. You know, if the weather pattern was anything like Andy, I'd be on over the next sort of week.
Righto.
This crop wants to go. We've seen that.
Yes.
Don't let's limit it by leaving something out or not getting it on in time, else we then start to see yield go down.